Newly obtained video here tonight showing those alarming moments when that United passenger jet came in for landing at Newark Airport, flying so low over the turnpike that the plane hit a truck and a light pole. Authorities say this was a near disaster and what they're now asking tonight with these new images. Here's Gio Benitez.
Tonight, the clearest video yet of that United Airlines 767 slamming into a bakery delivery truck and a light pole. Federal investigators studying the newly obtained video showing the plane inches from disaster. The massive wheel hitting the top of that truck. You can see the incoming plane in this dashcam video just before impact. The driver hit with glass and debris. These photos obtained by ABC News show the damage to that truck. That driver was taken to the hospital where he was treated and released for minor injuries.
If they had pulled up at the last second too abruptly, they would have dragged the tail and possibly created an even worse situation.
Around 2 p.m. Sunday, gusty winds causing that flight with 231 people on board to land on runway 29. The runway takes you right over the New Jersey Turnpike, a shorter runway forcing pilots to get on the ground as soon as they can.
What this shows very clearly is this airplane was over 100 feet lower than where it should have been as it crossed the New Jersey Turnpike and brushed the top of a truck and a light standard.
And David, United says that the crew members who were flying that plane have now been removed from service as they conduct a rigorous investigation. David.
And you'll stay on this for us, Gio. Thank you. The newly obtained video here tonight showing those alarming moments when that United passenger jet.
It is nothing short of a miracle that that brother survived that, y'all. Imagine you just driving, doing your deliveries, doing your job, and a plane crashes into your delivery truck. What is going on, brothers and sisters? Some are saying I have an echo. Let me try to correct that real quick before we get into this. I know it may be doing it. All right. That should clean it up. All right. So, brothers and sisters, Thessalonians 2:7 tells us, for the mystery of iniquity doeth already work. Everything we see going on in the world right now is the mystery of iniquity spoken of in Thessalonians. It's already in play. And there's so much going on right now. You got the 28 pedophiles that was arrested on a Disney cruise for child porn, right? And it's something way more sinister than we can ever imagine going on. You know, it's sick, but we're gonna talk about that. And of course, you know, they've been trying to keep us distracted with other stories, but this is what we need to be paying attention to. And then you got this whole it's called the hantavirus breaking free. And they're trying to create another outbreak. That's what it looks like. They're already doing the buildup. So we got to chop it up about these things going on. Not to mention there is also some further escalations involving the war, which we'll touch a little bit about that because Iran has bombed the EU, pardon me. And, you know, they're still going back and forth with escalations. But listen, nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to chop it up. And of course, we're going to bring nothing but the truth. So with no further ado, let's get into it.
They working against us. They hate our souls. They hate us. They hate our righteous indignation. They hate the exhortation that dwells in us. They hate our love for the that we truthful, honest, and bold. They hate our courage. Them devils hate us. We not finna line ourselves up with these weirdos and freaks, with these weirdos and freaks. They working against us. They hate our souls. Weirdos and freaks. But these weirdos and freaks, they working against us. They hate our souls. New breed.
Ephesians 6:10. Finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord, and in the power of his might put on the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day, and having done all, to stand. Stand therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. Above all, taking the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation, and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of God. Praying always with all prayer and supplication in the Spirit, and watching thereunto with all perseverance and supplication for all saints.
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back. It is good to have y'all for another broadcast. Let me greet y'all, the good people. I see my brother Tahan is in the building. What's going on? I see Terrence is in the house. And let's move this out the way here. Let me see. Yes, we got Karen in the building. Tania's in the house. I know some people be having an issue with that intro being the length that it is. However, it gives time for people to actually enter the broadcast. And you got to admit, it's one of the most lit YouTube intros on social media, on YouTube. So, and that's nothing but a Holy Spirit, filled. Anyway, I see, yes, Sean T in the building. Cynthia Hatley's in the house. Mika Love is in the building. Y'all make sure y'all do me a solid and stay nothing short of interactive. I see DC, Rick in the house. DC is in the building. That's right. Golden Sea is in the building. Let's see, Sacred's in the house. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some things to discuss. We truly do. We got to talk about how they're incrementally rolling out this digital ID. We got to talk about this hantavirus and the truth about this hantavirus and what it's really about. We got to chop it up about what's going on in the world. Not so we can be in worry, but so we can be aware. All right. And we want to be aware because it validates the fact that we're in the signs of the times that the Bible speak of. And the digital IDs, they're already technically they already exist. It's just they're finding unique ways to introduce them to the general public. So that's what we got going on in the world right now. And let's talk about it.
For the elites, this is game, set, match. This is checkmate of the elites against us. This is game over. One click, you get denied on anything. This is not just a picture ID, right? This is going to be a face scan, an iris scan, fingerprinting. It's going to hold all of your online activity, your passport, your bank account, your health records, taxes, your travel. I mean, take a look at this clip from Keir Starmer, who announced in the UK about their digital ID.
Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
I don't know if you can get any more arrogant and pompous with that British accent than he is, but he definitely was a little bit more stern and subdued, didn't have that pep in his step. Like maybe, after taking a line or two with Macron on the train, he didn't have the white powder this time, but he has the power to implement that all across the UK, and the UK will be feeling it very soon, very harsh. Digital ID is not in the US yet, but it is almost inevitable that it will come at some point.
Yeah.
And so it will have to be mass non-compliance. You will have to create your own networks of people. You will have to try to be, off grid if you can. Digital ID, that is the net. That is the trap for enslavement of the people. You will have to think the way they want you to think. You will have to say what they want you to say. George Orwell warned us all about this. Read 1984. All right, this is Big Brother, big time. You step out of line of whatever regime is in power, you're shut down. They'll shut down your bank account. They will shut down your online access. You won't be able to buy or sell. Sound familiar? It is being implemented in different countries: Estonia, Denmark, India, Singapore, Sweden, Australia, Belgium, the Netherlands, Nigeria, Germany. Now the UK. It'll eventually come for us. It will come here. The enslavement of the population, this is not hyperbole. When they have full control digitally of everything that you are and that you can do online, they will shut you down when you step out of line. Goodbye freedom of speech. Goodbye freedom of movement. If they pass a law that says you can only have so much meat a week, goodbye ability to buy what you want at the grocery store. This is serious. This isn't doomsday. Oh, the sky is falling. No, this is real. This is happening. This will come to us very soon. Pay attention.
Yeah. And listen.
Digital ID. It is
I want to show you all that it's already being rolled out here in the States. Leslie, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. She says, support our brother. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you all something here. In case you think that, this gentleman is just talking, you can easily look it up on the TSA website, for the record. The digital ID is being rolled out. And they're going to start it with TSA. Matter of fact, they have a whole convenience, secure way to travel video here on the TSA website. So now first, before I show you this, understand the context here. Right now, you got planes falling out of the skies. You got the government discouraging people from traveling. They're doing the psychological part right now, with kind of restricting travel through fear, because that's what they're doing right now. They're restricting travel through fear, but there's going to come a time where, unless you have this digital ID, it's going to be a chance that you won't be able to make certain moves. At least that's what they're pushing for. But look at this. Hold on. Let's see if we can get that. That thing is Bluetooth activated, everything. So, I mean, it's getting kind of crazy, man. So it's not enough that you got to go through TSA, get frisked. It's not enough that you got to get patted down, have your bags searched, empty your pockets, empty everything. But now they want to know everything about you, medical records, all of that. I mean, now the excuse would be, look, there's a what? There's a virus going around. So we're going to need we're going to need your medical records. We're going to need your medical history. We're going to need to know everything you got going on. Right? Yeah, that's what they do. They give you the feel good, lighthearted music to normalize something that's weird. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they give you this goofy ass music to make you feel like this is normal, that, you know, they have to know our life story, our banking history, our tax information, our job history, our medical records, all to travel, because that's what they're trying to roll out. Let's continue. Now, people already got this digital ID, but it's not mandatory yet. But if you get some sickness, some global pandemic that's really lighting people on fire, you know, lighting people's respiratory system on fire, I should say, then you're going to have this thing become something that's actually mandatory. Now, for the TSA pre-checks, you know, a lot of people who travel a lot, they already got these things, so they don't think nothing big about it. And I get it. However, when you look at how they are placing first of all, when you look at how they took out all of the cashiers out of the grocery stores, when you look at the fact that everything is becoming automative, they got grocery carts in a lot of the Whole Food stores nowadays where they already have the biometric system set up. They already have systems to read your iris scan everywhere. And we know what the Bible says about this. It says this would be the mark of the beast. It says he will cause all, free and bond, small and great, rich and poor, to receive a mark on their right hand or their forehead, lest they bear the mark they cannot buy or sell. Are we not getting to the point where you can't do anything unless you have all your records, all your documents, all your information in one central place? This is what they've been setting the stage for this entire time. They're rolling out the mark of the beast. Those who believe in Christ are not crazy for talking about this, because it's jumping off the page at this point. You know, and they act like we are so far behind because we still reading the Bible, but actually it looks like we're far ahead. It looked like we cutting edge. It looked like we've been talking about this for quite some time because we can see what's coming. And you leave it from 2 to 3 years from now, when everybody, you know, when a mass majority are walking around with these things just to grocery shop, then you're going to say, wow, those so-called conspiracy theorists was right. I mean, listen, the world powers are telling you what they're doing. I mean, not only that, also, you know, when you go to Wikipedia, when it comes to this digital ID, I want to share this with you as well. I want to share something with y'all because knowing is half the battle, right? Listen, according to Wikipedia, the EU Digital Identity Wallet, I'm just going to read a little bit here. The EU Digital Identity Wallet is a mobile identity wallet defined in Europe's union law to let people and businesses prove who they are online and share verified attributes across the EU. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that includes your Facebook, your YouTube, your Instagram, all your accounts, whatever your digital footprint is. They want to know all of that. So we're talking about a complete invasion of one's privacy, right? Now it goes on to say it is a created regulation which amends that the EIDAS framework to establish a European digital identity, and by a suit of commission implementing regulations adopted on 28 November 2024. So now let me just read a little bit more about the legal framework. The core at its regulation, which amends the digital identity, requires member state to offer an EU digital wallet to citizens and residents who request one. And this is just right now for people who want it. But as you've seen, the EU European Prime Minister, or whatever he calls himself, the leader over there, he says it's going to be mandatory to work. So I would recommend, so I'm not just being long-winded with this article, I would recommend you all get here and go on Wikipedia and just read a little bit about it, right? Read a little bit about it. And then we wonder why we having all these issues with travel right now. They're putting these things in place. All right. Now, I want to also share with you all one more thing here regarding this particular digital ID when it comes to driving. When it comes to driving as well. Yeah, because make no mistake about it. It's going to matter there too. It's going to matter there too. How states, watch this. Knowing is half the battle, y'all. How states are navigating the move to mobile driver's license. Yeah. Look. Imagine you not being able to drive unless you have this. So we're talking about digital driver's license now. How states are more so moving towards that. Why? When they pull you over, they know who you are, everything about you, your social media, whether you pose a threat, these type of things, right? How states are navigating the move to mobile driver's license. Let's just play this real quick. We ain't gonna play the whole thing.
At Okta. Ajay and Christine, thank you so much for joining us. And Ajay, I'd like to start with you. First, let's set the stage. Give us a brief sense, if you will, of the scope of your organization and the number of residents your organization serves.
Thanks for having me here. Happy to share our experiences and some of the interesting things that we have delved into this new field of mobile driver license and identity cards.
Now, they talk about mobile driver's license and identity cards. Now, also, peep the game that all 2027 vehicles are going to have dash cameras that watch you 24/7. If your eyes sink too low, if you lean back too far in your seat, if you're a little bit tired and look a little foggy, they finna hit the kill switch on your vehicle. They're hitting the kill switch on your vehicle, stopping your vehicle, and it's going to be a warning sign that goes off, like you in Futurama somewhere. Like this is the damn Fifth Element or something. It's going to hit, you going to see flashing red lights, warning, warning, warning. You're not on camera. Look into the camera. That's how it's going to be driving all the new vehicles. But on top of that, all your information going to be on another database. Now you see why they building these huge data centers, replacing farms with all these data centers. But anyway, let's go.
So it's not just about driver licenses, but also ID cards as well. California, state of California, right? The densest state in the US, and accordingly, really the largest DMV in the nation as well. And would be really the largest public sector entity.
Yeah, it's just like Demolition Man, dystopian future.
That's customer facing, with over 34 million identity cards and driver licenses issues, with unique 31 million identities, 36 million vehicles. We do 60 million transactions a year, and we gather $14 billion in revenue. So we are pretty big. We have over 220 locations, physical locations, all throughout California. We service our customers through those physical locations and through our online sites, through our over 200 kiosks, through our auto clubs, and via the traditional paper-based channels at the headquarters.
So this is California's DMV, which is one of the largest in the world.
So we're very big. We get like over 4 million calls a year, and we issue over 9 million cards annually. Replacements, new cards, etc. So it's a very robust ecosystem that we have. And with that comes in the Real ID, and we obviously issue Real IDs as well. We have been converting Real IDs, the normal driver license and identity cards to Real IDs too. So on a scale, I want to say that we would be the largest public sector retail entity in the nation, directly servicing customers in any particular public sector area.
This is the largest in the nation. So now listen to of course, they're going to use the largest DMV in the nation to roll out this plan to see how it works. So, hey, listen, once they can do it there, they can do it anywhere in America. And this will be something that's a requirement, right? They're doing it there first.
That while customers providing this information, maybe that's good enough to think about, confirm that they are saying they are who they are, right? Who they're saying they are. So in general, over time, with the advent of the technologies, both on the good and bad side of the world, the dark web with tons of leaked data, all those identity associations have been very hard to confirm that with 100% certainty. So this world where we live in, where you'll upload a copy of a driver license or a passport, etc., to verify your identity, and somebody in the back office would manually verify it, or will connect to a partner.
I'm gonna tell you right now, once they get this in place, they don't even have to pull you over to know everything. Once they scan that license plate, they're gonna have once they get this digital ID in place, they're gonna have everything they need to know.
Like third-party aggregators to get that information, it's quite expensive. Also, it's still error-prone because people can still fake, using that data, create fake IDs. And with the advent of Gen AI, it's actually easier to create an image of a driver license that looks real. And there is a pretty good case study on that particular aspect as well. So in general, the physical cards are easy to fake. The digital verification is very expensive. So this has been a long time coming, creating a digital credential that's actually ripe for digital transactions. When you're online, you should be able to share the identity online. But also, you want convenience, where the things that you carry in your pocket, which is your mobile phone, more than your wallet, you want your identity verification.
And so that you see, they're trying to normalize it. Basically, they're trying to normalize taking our privacy. And eventually, man, people are going to push back on this, man. Who wants to live like this, where everything is just being traced? There's no privacy whatsoever. Don't you understand, ladies and gentlemen, our nervous system would take a major hit with a world with no kind of privacy, a world where surveillance is everywhere. But see, they're trying to say it's just convenient. No, it's not convenient. It's inconvenient. But I just thought I'd share that with y'all because this digital ID thing is really beginning to take its legs and take its course. And I believe it's a prerequisite for the mark of the beast. You know, the Bible tells us straight up in the book of Revelations 13 and 17, it says, and he calls of all, small and great, free and bond, rich and poor, to receive a mark. Now, they already setting up a digital infrastructure. They're already setting up, you know, digital systems, identity systems, and commerce, tracking systems. You know, just recently they used contact tracing with this hantavirus thing. At least they claim they did. And I'm telling you, the current technology we have right now literally fulfills Bible prophecy. It fulfills Bible prophecy. Yeah, these people are trying to play God. You know, Satan is a control freak because they know they losing grip. They lose in society, you know. And this hantavirus thing, I'm going to tell you, it's a ritual being performed. Just so that we're clear, we have another ritual going on. And we're going to go there. We're going to talk about that, y'all. Because, listen, they can't fool all of us, right? They just can't fool us all. Y'all give me a moment. I want to pull this up for y'all. Here we go. Another pandemic.
This is breaking news. The virus has gone viral globally, and once again, the world is unprepared. It's unpredictable and destructive in nature. Symptoms include shortness of breath, anxiety, and it can even lead to death. It started by invading South America, and now it's making its way to China. That's right. Donald Trump is visiting Beijing May 14th. Hide your kids. This is breaking news. The virus has gone viral globally, and once again, the world is unprepared. It's unpredictable and destructive in nature.
So he's talking about Trump being a virus, and all jokes to the side, though. However, the virus is picking up some steam in America, meaning, you know, you're starting to get certain states that's being watched, like I think Georgia, and then now Texas is on the list. You know, they're slowly pushing this thing just like they did COVID, right? They're slowly pushing it, but we're gonna go there.
There are now 7 cases of the hantavirus, with 4 people already.
I can't play this one because it's the music he's using. So now they saying it's 7 cases. Now they saying it's 7 cases and 4 died. Listen, I'm gonna just say it, y'all. I don't believe any of this even happened. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. I just don't believe the story at all. I think that we got a bunch of crisis actors the same way we had when that other virus came. And this is just my thoughts, and I'm allowed to have my freedom of thought, right? But what say y'all? Because it looked like to me that it worked once, so they're gonna try it again. Legend Prodigy Los, thank you for the support. I appreciate it. It says, Legend says, for the real breed, keep preaching. Love the content, bro. Definitely very informative. Y'all got to support the real. Absolutely. Yeah, show some support for the content. You know, I've been working very diligently on music. I got a lot of things I'm working on, but I definitely wanted to show up for y'all. Y'all know how it is recording an album. I be up all night some nights. But so I'm putting in a lot of work behind the scenes and, you know, right here live and direct. Yeah, I do feel like that they're fear mongering because I told this story on one of my other streams, and I don't know if y'all heard this when I was talking about how powerful the mind is. The mind is very, very powerful, y'all. There was a situation where an individual tried to self-delete with a certain, they had been prescribed certain pills that was mental health pills. And in the midst of trying to overdose, they decided that they didn't want to delete no more and they wanted to live. They get rushed to the hospital. They're getting all the symptoms. They're convulsing, having seizures. Organs are beginning to shut down. All to find out it was a placebo. Once the doctors did their thing, they found out it was a placebo. That's how strong the mind is. That's how much they try to push fear. Yep. Hebrew Care says they said they dropped the sick people from the ship around the corners of the earth. Sounds like the Bible scripture. The Most High spread the people around the four corners of the earth. Here's the link. Yeah, I don't see the link, but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, the mind is very powerful. So, I mean, they already got vaccines for this thing. How did they go and create vaccines for a disease that was only for rats? How did they already preemptively go make a vaccine when human transmission just began on this cruise ship, right? It makes no sense, y'all. Gladiator, thank you for the support. It's like, what are they trying to do? I mean, and at the end of the day, there's people who are homeless. There's people who are in the streets with the rats, and they're not getting no hantavirus. And there's some things I'm gonna show you. Shout out to brother Tahan. Tahan, I did get some of the sources that you shot my way, and I'm gonna look at some of that stuff when it comes to this hantavirus. So y'all got to get the likes up because we're gonna do a little bit of deep diving on this because something just don't sit right with this particular virus, right? And I know the World Health Organization is involved, but it haven't got big enough where I can't talk about this right now. It's gonna get to a point I got to be quiet about it. So, I mean, take the information now, because if they're going to blow this thing up and let it snowball, there's certain things I can't say. So right now, y'all get in the raw gutter material that can be put out right now.
I'm an engineer, but it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out what the fuck to do with 26 people that come in contact with a deadly virus on a boat. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the facts. There are none. There are so little details with the story and so many inconsistencies. The headlines are actually changing every single day. For example, 3 days ago, it said there were only 3 Americans that were on this boat. Now it's up to 7 confirmed. Possibly more because California has not confirmed exactly how many Californians were on this boat.
So now the news went from there was 1 American on the ship. They always give us conflicting stories. They went from it was 1 American on the ship. That person wasn't, that person was quarantined. Everything is everything. Now, all of a sudden, we got 7 mystery people running around America that perhaps got the virus. Now, all of a sudden, there's 7 mystery people walking around various states of America that possibly got hantavirus. That's the message that's being put out there. All right, let's go.
In fact, the only state that has been clear, concise, and consistent with us is ironically Georgia, out of all places. But listen, if you're familiar with Richard Preston's The Hot Zone, you know that the CDC is located in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where HQ is. To me, that's not a coincidence that Georgia is the one stepping up to the plate, which gives me hope that some of our brilliant minds are still remaining at the CDC after even being gutted by this administration regarding healthcare, science, and research. Now, while you can't contract hantavirus as easily as you can with COVID, it is transferred through close contact. All 7 or more of these Americans got on a plane from the cruise back to their homes. Close compartment.
Right. So, and also they got on a plane after the cruise to get back home, and now we don't know who got it on the plane. You see how this thing goes? This is the story they're putting out there. But let's go.
Lots of people. Small space. To add to it, all of this seems like population control on purpose, because what do you mean they let them go? It took me no longer than a 2-second Google search to find a peer-reviewed scientific research human volunteered study on this virus that it takes 1 to 6 weeks to contract this virus. Let me remind you, it has been only 2 weeks since this incident has occurred. You're telling me that they could not quarantine these people for at least 4 more weeks just to be safe and eradicate the virus themselves? There are just too many holes to this story, and I'm not in the mood to play mini golf if you're catching my drift. I'm an engineer, but it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure out what the fuck to do with 26 people that come in contact with a deadly...
Now, hey, they setting the stage, y'all. Yeah, listen, I'm gonna just call it like it is. It's a hoax. It's a hoax, people. Like, don't let these devils jug and finesse us. Now, can the virus become very real? Yeah. And what do I mean by that? Anything that's in the spirit can manifest physically. Breathe. What are you talking about? Well, if some people can end up getting pneumonia, getting sick, a situation they can exploit, guess what? Fear begins to consume the people. And guess what? That sickness becomes a reality. It becomes a reality. I'm telling you. Legend, thank you for the support. Once again, I appreciate it. It says the media always be fear-mongering. Man, Breed, I have a feeling they're going to push another one of them jabs. Oh, yeah. And a lot more people going to fall for it. I agree with you. I definitely agree. And that is the goal. Hebrew Care, thank you for the support. And y'all make sure y'all support Hebrew Care as well. It says either New Breed keep pushing this truth. We live in real time. Those scriptures are jumping out. I shared the link again. I hope it works. No, I don't see a link there personally. If you could send it to my Instagram, New Breed 404. That'll be the easiest way to get it. Just share it on as a link on Instagram. Yep.
All this new hantavirus talk is haunting me from past talks about COVID. Y'all remember those first couple news reports that came out in 2020 when COVID wasn't easily spread? Let's revisit that.
It's been confirmed that a new virus that has killed 3 people and has been spreading across China can be passed from person to person, not just from animals. More than 200 people have been infected with the virus that causes breathing problems. The World Health Organization has said it will hold an emergency meeting on the outbreak later this week. Our medical correspondent Fergus Walsh reports.
It's official. China's mysterious new virus can pass from person to person. It does not, thankfully, spread easily. Signs of infection include breathing problems, fever, and cough. Now, it's the height of the flu season, meaning it's hard to know initially what infection patients have.
Cases confirmed spreading from China to Thailand and Japan, sparking a World Health Organization alert. Authorities believe it is rare for the pneumonia-like virus to spread between humans. The first case was reported September 30th, believed to be linked to Wuhan's large seafood and animal market.
The earlier we can detect the virus, the better we can understand it, and the better we can protect the American public.
It's not transmitted from humans to humans very easily. Remember that? And rumor on the street is, please note, I'm saying rumor, not fact, not verified. As somebody in Virginia, particularly the Norfolk area, has the Hanta virus. Hanta, I don't give a damn. It's also rumor on the street that the lady whose husband died from the virus on that cruise ship, and then she got on an airplane because they said that she was illness free, actually infected a flight attendant, and now that flight attendant is showing symptoms of being infected with that virus. AKA, it sounds like it's spreading pretty easily. Will wearing a mask help? Fuck, we don't know. But you're not gonna catch me out in public without a mask because it seems like once people start feeling ill, the first thing they do is either jump on an airplane, jump on a cruise ship, go on vacation, or go to the goddamn grocery store. And
they're trying to keep us in fear from traveling, from making moves, from discovering life outside of America. Here's a little fun fact. There's been a mass exodus taking place from America. Yes, more people have left America in the last 2 years than came to America. People want to move. The American dream is leaving America. That's what it's become. Because of the price of living, because it's so difficult to actually survive in America, the American dream has become leaving America. And, you know, the global elite haven't ignored that. No, they like, hey, listen, let's sit these people back in their houses. Perhaps we need to shut things down again, keep them still. Yep, she's very monotone. I noticed that. But Tahan, thank you for the support. He says NYC is crawling with rats. The math ain't mathing, Breed. I agree. How all of a sudden these people getting a hantavirus on a cruise ship where they found no rodents? But there's people living in the streets of NYC and they not getting this hantavirus. We talking about the home of Master Splinter, y'all. Come on, man. This is crazy.
Hey, damn sure don't wear a mask. Before I get all these scientists in my comment section talking about the mask isn't gonna help, how the frick would you know? Because according to you, it also doesn't spread very easily and you have to come in contact with a rat's piss, poop. You have to be cleaning up their feces. Well, I don't think that flight attendant was cleaning up any rat feces. I think she just came into contact with somebody who was sick. But we don't really know if it's airborne. We don't really know nothing. And at the end of the day, the flight attendant could be perfectly fine and well, but I've seen this story before. I've seen this movie before. But as always, let me know what you guys think in the comments. All this new hantavirus talk is...
It's just not, the math ain't mathing. You're right. Just not making no sense.
There is now a race to track down everyone who left the ship that was infected with hantavirus, which is over 12 different countries, so they can try and contain an outbreak. Just looking at the prediction markets on Kalshi, you can see there's about a 22% chance of a hantavirus outbreak on there, but it did peak around 45%.
So now we damn near got a 50% chance of an outbreak this year. Because these mystery people are in 12 different countries because this cruise ship went on a damn world tour. The cruise ship went on a world tour, and instead of quarantining them at sea, people was jumping on planes. Listen, it could be thousands of people who got it because if technically, and I'm saying according to their script, if you following a script, it could be thousands of people that already got it because the incubation period is 2 to 7 weeks. Those people wasn't on there for what? 2 weeks. And what I'm trying to show is they already put a script in place. They already put a script in place. It ain't, hey, listen, they putting it out there. Let me see here. Absolutely. That's and for real, for respiratory problems, this is why we got preemptive measures ourselves, y'all. This is why I tell y'all support Hebrew Care. Get your elderberry tea, get your colloidal silver, get your raw honey. These are the things you can use to prevent. And matter of fact, you should double and triple up on all those things during the summer. That's how you do it. That's a little thing they don't tell you. In order to stay healthy during the winter, because I could tell it's going to be a wild winter this winter. You got to get everything you need in the summer. The whole summer, you need to be eating fruits that produce seeds too. Eating all the right things during the summer. That's how you get your immune system right. All right. But anyway, peep this.
So I guess that's a good sign. The World Health Organization says it does expect more cases, but it doesn't anticipate a large epidemic anywhere similar to COVID, of course. So where are we at right now? Well, about 30 people have left the ship and returned to their homes, and that happened on April 24th when they were docked at St. Helena, but they scattered over 12 different countries. Here's a list of them here. 6 of them are from the United States in California, Georgia, Virginia, and Arizona. Trump says he is closely monitoring the situation because symptoms can take up to 8 weeks to show after being exposed. About 5 people have the virus right now and 3 people have died. If we get more updates on any of these cases, I'll be sure to keep you guys updated. There is now a race to track down everyone who left the ship that was infected with hantavirus.
There's no way you're going to be able to track down all the people, because then you have to get the people and the people who came in contact with these people.
Okay, but what do you mean the hantavirus is in Texas now? You mean the Texas that I stay at? You mean the Texas where I live? First of all, hantavirus sounds like some type of medieval torture method. And second of all, how the fuck did it get from the boat to France to Georgia, now Texas? Y'all should have stayed y'all ass on that boat. Sink the fucking ship. Sink the fucking ship. Since y'all don't know how to listen, and stay y'all ass on that motherfucking boat. Sink the ship. I have no sympathy. All y'all.
She gonna get sick, respectfully. And see, you can't think like this either. You mean to tell me sacrifice all those people's lives who may have been on there? You know, listen, this is the spirit of Americans, bro. This is why America is where it's at right now. Because people really be thinking like this. She's saying something evil as hell out loud. Like, I don't care who's on there. I don't care who's on the ship. Sink the ship and let the people die, even if they're not even infected. And we wonder why America is how it is. We wonder why, man. Like, it's the selfishness, the lack of humility. And people be looking at this stuff as comedy. They be looking at this stuff as normal. Like, no, it's not normal to be like that when it comes to human life. Just an utter disregard for human life. That's not normal. That's why Babylon gotta fall. It's wicked. Everybody out for themselves, and that's the people who are gonna get sick, man. That's why the Bible says a person who tries to save their life will lose it. Those who will give their lives will gain it, meaning those who will actually be selfless, heroic, have some courage, have some damn bravery. Those are the people who are gonna be all right. People who are all selfish and, oh, it's in my city. You could have drowned all those people. Look. This is the type of people I want to be far away from, bro. I'm telling you. Dublin Fitzpatrick, thank you for the support, says, Newbury, you taught me not to fear. It says, not to fear anyone but the Most High. All praises. Here's Trump asked about the hantavirus. Listen to this, y'all.
Yes, I have. Well, I think you're going to be told everything, and you already have. It's very much, we hope, under control. It was the ship, and I think we're going to make a full report about it tomorrow. We have a lot of people, a lot of great people are studying it. It should be fine. We hope. I hope not. I hope not. We'll do the best we can. Yes, I have. Can you tell us what you learned in these briefings? Well, I think you're going to be told everything, and you already have. It's very much, we hope, under control. It was the ship, and I think we're going to make a full report about it tomorrow.
So there'll be a full report about it at some point, probably tomorrow. Because this was done some hours. This was done 22 hours ago, so he probably already made a full report about it, and that's why we know that they're saying it's being looked out at Georgia and Texas, because he already. So they said it was under control, but now they're saying, we're looking out for certain states. We're looking out for certain states. See, they're flirting with the idea of running this thing full-fledged, y'all. Trump ain't never gonna give us a straightforward answer. Man's a damn liar.
Was doing some Epstein shit on this Disney cruise, and they're trying to distract us. So when you get time, do your research on Disney cruise ships, and you're gonna see it come up, and it was like 28.
Oh, we're gonna talk about the Disney cruise ship because, yeah, this virus, this fake virus, you know, the alleged fake virus, that's a sideshow compared to what the hell's going on with these Freemasonic, satanic, child peddling weirdos and freaks over there on these damn Disney cruise ships. That's the real news for real, what happened on them damn Disney cruise ships. And we gonna talk about that. We'll get to it, but we're gonna expose this first. But let's go.
28 members got arrested on board for doing some Epstein shit on his Disney cruise. You know, but that's not getting no real media coverage. Only thing that's getting media coverage is the Hannah Montana virus or the haunted house virus.
Yeah.
That's getting all the media coverage. That shit is fake. And we might go on quarantine. We might go on lockdown. We might again. Why? Because the vibration is raising again and they're getting scared. That's why.
He right, man. You know, the vibration is raising. Now, you know, I'm not with the new age philosophy, but what I mean by that is the Most High's people are waking up. And we are carrying a certain frequency. We are learning who we are, and we are actually changing the atmosphere. So they know who we are. They very well aware. That's why they're trying to clamp down with all this surveillance. They watching the Most High's people. But yeah, you know, when the atmosphere shifts a certain way, they like to shut everything down out of fear.
But we all know what to do. We starseeds. Leia was doing some.
Yeah, they believe that if they could just slow everything down, just stop everybody, then they can stop the inevitable. They can stop the inevitable from happening, which is their downfall. They can't stop it. They can't stop it. I got this link here. Let me see if it pops up. And this was in the New York Post. Okay, so I'm gonna have to share a separate screen here. Hold on one moment. Let me see if I can share this real quick. All right. Hantavirus update. Is this it right here? Let me see. Okay, so yeah, here we go. All right, so 23 Hannah cruise. Hold on, y'all. 23 Hantavirus cruise passengers return home to all corners, including the U.S. and an already sick. Look, yep, like the four corners. I get what Hebrew Care was saying. Like all corners of the earth. See, they got the world cornered. Wow. Now think about it. This shit went to Africa. This shit went everywhere. Oh man, that's crazy. That headline right there is crazy. Like they got the four corners. Like, you know how we talk about being spread across the four corners of the earth? Now, all of a sudden, you're going to start. Guess who is going to hit first? You already know what they on. Melanated people. They just listen. That's coded wording right here. This is a target to melanated people across the four corners of the world. I'm telling you right now. They did this last time. They had Tom Hanks and his wife shedding crocodile tears on TV. The next thing you know, everybody in the hood is the one who got, all of a sudden, everybody in the hood, the ones who got COVID. Y'all know how they do it. Same play. And see, you know, we just covering this. We already see what they doing before they do it. They're gonna have to go right back to the drawing board with this because we see through this. Let me see if this video will play. There's a couple ads on this one, but hold up. I'm telling you, they think they slick. Return home to all corners. Like they got all bases loaded or something. We could say this virus hit anywhere now.
Don't upload your videos to YouTube. Upload to Restream, where we will live stream it to you.
This is the footage the news sharing. Look, you just got look at all these people in these lab coats. These could be crisis actors, bro. We don't know. So that's the alleged ship right there, y'all. And I guess it says it evacuated passengers in Honduras, or it says a Honduras cruise ship. But I mean, these people are running the same play, bro. There's no proof of this actually being real at all when you really consider what's going on. There's no proof. Now, I want to share with y'all something else. Let me see if I can pull this up for y'all as well. Because we got to get to the bottom of this hantavirus thing, y'all.
What if I told you that the hantavirus is a premeditated psychological operation to facilitate asymmetrical biochemical warfare for the Agenda for 2030, which is the blueprint for the New World Order? Because remember, I was telling you guys that the Trump administration is playing both sides because right before the breakout happened, RFK, he already knew about it. Now, when you go down the rabbit hole and you go to the Twitter account, I am Soothsayer, it says verbatim that the hantavirus is going to break out in 2026. And that tweet was put out in 2022 because nothing in the simulation is a coincidence. Everything is pretty much premeditated. Now, the Trump administration is playing both sides because when you go to the Twitter account, it shows you the followers list. And when you go to the followers list, it's following everybody that's connected to the deep state shadow government that creates these psychological operations, such as the last scandemic that Bill Gates was connected to. Because all this is basically connected to the ideology of Elon Musk because he wants Neuralink to interface with these smart cities for the Agenda for 2030. That's what this is all about. And the crazy thing is that RFK knew it was going to happen because he laid off the sanitation inspectors days before the outbreak took place. Everything in the physical world has an esoteric and a spiritual meaning because when you look at the word Hanta, it's an anagram for the word Natha in Sanskrit, which is Lord of the Universe, Protector, and Master, which refers to Shiva because Krishna is the outer manifestation of Shiva.
Also, the word Hanta in another language means injection too. But let's go.
Shiva means 7, which is the Christ. So this hantavirus is being used as a catalyst to take you away from your God self. What if I told you that the hantavirus is a premeditated psychological operation to facilitate
Yeah, I mean, listen. It's interesting how Bill Gates said there will be another pandemic. How many of y'all remember when Bill Gates said that? He said it straight up. He said there will be another pandemic. You know, we're planning for the next one. When the next pandemic comes, we're going to do X, Y, and Z. It's all scripted. Yep. Satan don't come with no new tricks. I'm going to read a scripture here. I'm going to read a scripture here. One moment. Yep. And this is what I wanted to get at. Hold on. What are they doing here on my screen? Let's go. All right, here we go. And it's book of Haggai. For thus saith the Lord of hosts, yet once it is a little while, and I will shake the heavens and the earth and the sea and the dry land. Listen, there's going to come a time where the Most High going to have to shake this place up, because these people, they've been lying. They've been causing global instability. They've been causing chaos. They've been causing destruction. The Most High says it's going to come a time he's going to shake things up, land and sea. It's just going to get straight up real out here. Judgment got to come, because you know what? It's too many people losing their lives believing the machine. And it's really sickening when you really think about it.
You're not going to believe what I found about the hantavirus cruise ship. This feels identical to the game Resident Evil, a horror game released in March 22nd of 1996. Resident Evil Revelations is a game centered around a massive abandoned cruise ship called the Queen Zenobia. The ship becomes infected with a bioorganic virus known as T-Abyss virus. There is also a secret corporation called the Umbrella Corporation that creates biological weapons and deadly viruses through illegal experiments. The experiments spiral out of control and cause outbreaks. Now go look at the side of hantavirus's cruise ship. You will see the symbol of a cross. Then look at Resident Evil, the Umbrella Corporation that creates.
Yo, you can't tell. I don't believe in coincidences, yo. Now this is a deep dive right here. This is interesting, y'all. Now, of course, everything over here, you got to slap allegedly on everything, but honestly, this is crazy, because Texas, right? Texas last week had zombie warnings. You can't make this up. Texas and Georgia is the two states. I believe Texas went first that they said they keeping an eye out on. Texas was handing out brochures about in case there's a damn zombie apocalypse, y'all. Like, why? And anybody who know anything about Resident Evil, the Umbrella Corporation, due to their illegal experiments, caused a zombie apocalypse. The Umbrella Corp sign is on the damn ship, on the cruise ship that they say the hantavirus came on. Oh, man. And I know somebody on the outside looking, they like, man, you sound like one of them tinfoils happening. All right, well, hey, it is what it is. Just give me my tinfoil, because the truth is stranger than fiction. I don't believe in no coincidences. I got something called deductive reasoning and common sense. Ain't nothing aired on mainstream media without an agenda. You cannot convince me something being aired worldwide on global news, being pushed all through the airwaves, doesn't have some type of agenda. Nah, not believing it.
Creates biological weapons uses the exact same symbol. Resident Evil was also released on 3/22, March 22nd, which is 3/22, the Skull and Bones. Again, this is just for entertainment purposes only, and this is all just a coincidence. They don't show us the truth in plain sight. You're not going to believe what I found about the hantavirus cruise ship. This feels identical to the game.
Interesting. That's something else right there. Now peep this. Hold on. This link right here. wait one moment. I'm gonna have to share this one with y'all. And I will share that with y'all. I'm gonna get back to that one, but let's go. Let's see. We're gonna share that one too. Man, interesting discoveries here.
Well, here you go, guys. Here it is. The CDC is bringing the haunt of virus-stricken ship to America. Weird. Why would they do that? Oh, it's to quarantine the people in Nebraska. And if you think this is the last you've heard of this little BS display, I'm here to tell you, come back and see my posts on this, because the CDC are the ones you trust and love, and they're going to protect us, right? They're not using this as a cover-up for anything. So the passengers are expected to be placed into quarantine there, and to make sure the virus doesn't have a chance to spread. Wow, man, it's really weird how this is all really unraveling. They cannot discuss specific communications at this time, but their specialized teams are going to be working on the bio-containment unit and really working on the safety of the people. So again, guys, what do you think's going on here? And you tell me if I'm fear-mongering or if there's something that's afoot here. And you go from there. Much love, and keep that head on a swivel.
For real. Now, for the record, the U.S. State Department is arranging the repatriation fight in coordination with the CDC, U.S. Department of Health and Human Resources. And they're doing all of this because of something that hasn't hit yet. No. Anytime you see the damn CDC and WHO get involved, oh, it's going somewhere. Ecclesiastes 1:9. The thing, and it reads, the thing that have been, it is that which shall be, and that is done is that which shall be done. And there is no new thing under the sun. There's no new thing under the sun. And listen, Satan has the same patterns over and over again, y'all. Now, I want to share something else with y'all, but let me check this real quick. Now, and this is why I can talk about this. Until they start clamping down and you hearing different things, right now it's not a big story. But it looks like they're trying to make it one.
All right, you guys, sorry, I had to take a little break from uploading because I was starting to feel a little unappreciated. I had someone comment on one of my most recent videos. Maybe next time you can have your questions already written down and ready to go. I needed a few minutes to recover from that before I made another video. But let's talk about this virus. All right, so let's go. Are we headed toward another worldwide lockdown? No, thank you. Are we headed toward another partial lockdown of any areas in the world? Yes, thank you. Okay. Hold
on, what is she doing? So I don't get with this stuff. I don't know what this is. I don't know if she's doing some old witchcraft stuff. I don't believe those little, whatever the hell she got going on. Now, here's an interesting word here. Hanta comes from the Sanskrit word hanta. Core meaning is an injection. Injection. In etymology, the root would be derived from the root han, meaning to strike, kill, or slay. Very interesting. Well, yeah, I don't know, what is that called? Dowsing rods? I don't know what that is, but I don't do that. That stuff gives me the heebie-jeebies. I don't know nothing about that. I think it's witchcraft, and I don't get involved with that. Somebody says she's trying to put a spell on us. We just gonna cover the news. We don't know what's gonna happen until things transpire. We're just keeping an eye. We're vigilant. Everything these people trying to do, everything they put out there, I'm watching. But I don't need I don't need no damn psychic to tell me what's going on. They're gonna do what they're gonna do. Now let's go. Now I wanted to share something with y'all. Look at this. Is this it right here? Look at this, y'all. Are we looking at a patent number here? Hold on now. Look, you're only going to get this kind of truth on New Breed Global Truth, y'all. Look at this. Hold on. Give me a moment. Let me just read what I'm looking at real quick. Hold on. This right here is where it gets a little bit deeper. So it says mRNA vaccines against hantavirus. And it has a public number. And this was done April 24th, 2025. The public number is right there. 0125780A1. It says our version of the field, hantavirus pathology is design, production, administration. And I'm going to say all this is allegedly, maybe this is false documents, but it says United States patent application publication for the virus. I don't know, y'all. I'm just going to leave it with allegedly, but it looks authentic. I don't know what I'm looking at looks authentic, y'all. I mean, yeah, anyone can look it up. I'm saying, but everybody's not going to talk about everybody's not going to go talk about it. So for the person that says anybody can look it up. Yeah, and I want you to look it up, y'all. So look it up. So when I say you only get this truth on New Breed Global, people can look things up, but they don't really want to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Respectfully, they don't want to talk about stuff. Now, if it's a patent on it just days ago, like a week or so ago, it's not looking too good. Another mRNA vaccine.
So we, we'll have to prepare for the next one. That, I'd say is will get attention this time.
I don't want nobody to panic, but 7 Americans that was aboard that goddamn ship that has the hantavirus have returned home. And I do mean home to the United States. So according to MedPage today, multiple sources reported that 26 members of that ship got off on April 24th in St. Helena. They all decided to take their ass home. And 7 of them were Americans. And these are the states that they took their ass to, were the ones we know so far. Arizona, California, Georgia, Texas, and Virginia. And baby, a spokesperson for the California Department of Health told MedPage that they were notified by the CDC that California residents was aboard that fucking ship. But they don't show no signs of being sick. Now, the CDC also says we're coordinating with local health officials as needed to monitor returning travelers. They said right now, none of the travelers seem to be affected or ill. But the incubation time for the hantavirus is like 4 to 6 weeks. So, we got time. The Georgia Department of Public Health told MedPage today it is monitoring 2 Georgia residents who return home after disembarking the fucking ship.
Of course, there's going to be some Georgia residents out here where I'm at, man. Of course, they're going to do that. Of course, it's going to be Georgia. Because this is where the energy's at right now. They're gonna go with a force is strong. You know what I'm saying? Of course they're gonna start their fear mongering campaign over here in GA. GA doing good right now. Let me tell y'all something. Georgia, the spirit of Georgia is doing good right now. That's why they trying to bring that fear nonsense over here. Ever since Trump been in the office, it seemed like we've been sticking together out here in Georgia. All the black folks been sticking together. We all get ahead now. Like, you good? Everybody in Georgia, we chilling. You know, there's a lot of things going on out here where our people trying to, get Georgia back to where it was, a business mecca. So of course they're gonna do that over here. There's a lot of motion going on over here right now. But anyway, let's go.
In the fucking house. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. They said the individuals are currently in good health and show no signs of an infection. This black woman is gonna have her hands full with the CDC. Thank God you walked in, though.
I just came across something that is insane. You know how everyone doesn't want them to get off the ship, keep them on the ship, don't let them disembark? Well, guess what? You know, the Swiss couple, the husband, they flew back to Switzerland, they disembarked early, and now he went to the hospital, he has it, they're both in quarantine, they're monitoring her for symptoms. I was thinking, why would they let them off? It's very weird. So as I started researching, guess what, guys? 23 people, not just those two, 23 people got off that cruise at the same time. Many went on to travel to different, continue a trip somewhere else. Many went home. Went to Taiwan, went to the UK, went to Australia, went to the Netherlands, and guess what else? Went home to America. 23 people already got off of that ship between April 21st and April 24th, and we haven't heard a single word about it.
Okay, we are all over this story for you. Breaking this morning, Dutch authorities say a flight attendant who was in touch with a woman who died from hantavirus in South Africa has been admitted to a hospital after showing symptoms. There are also new reports that
Now they want to go after South Africa. They saying the pilot or the doctor that worked on one of the patients in South Africa. Listen, who y'all think this is targeting? Let me tell you something. They look at they look at us melanated folks as the disease. They looking at us as the disease. So now they're trying to say, hey, he ain't looking too good. The doctor in South Africa, he's showing some symptoms. He over there. Man, these people are something.
some of the Americans who were on board that ship plagued by an outbreak for days have returned back home. Well, now there's growing worry that they may have brought the rare and deadly virus back with them. Nick's here with the latest on this story. Nick, officials in several states are now monitoring this entire situation.
Absolutely, Mark. They're doing what they call contact tracing. They want to make sure that anyone who is on this ship is not taking that virus anywhere with them without being traced. While the CDC tries to tamp down public fears, at least 3 state health departments are keeping tabs on people who were just on board the MV Honduras. The New York Times.
That's right. South Africa is pushing back, so they trying to slide that pandemic demo on them because South Africa pushing back. Telling you, man, these people ain't slick.
Reports that California, Georgia, and Arizona state health.
California, Georgia, and Arizona. Why? It's a reason why these 3 states are listed. Listen, they be looking at different data that we don't see. They be looking at different statistics and stuff like that, and these places be targeted for a reason. And the way I'm talking about it, some people may be thrown off. Like, Bree, why are you talking about this thing like it's a weapon? Because that's what the hell it is. It's a weapon. If it got a patent, it's a weapon. That would be somebody, and that would be considered biological warfare. If that patent was real that I just read, which I said allegedly because I don't know, but if it was, hypothetically, if that patent was real, this would be considered biological warfare, not an outbreak.
Departments are each monitoring residents who were on that beleaguered ship. Right now, however, the 2 people in Georgia are not showing any symptoms. Those reports come after 3 people were evacuated off the ship on Wednesday, including the ship's doctor. There have been 3 confirmed.
Now, of course, the incubation period is 2 to 7 weeks. So there's no symptoms as of now, which is good. Ain't nobody, we going to be good. Let's go.
Hantavirus cases on board with 5 more suspected. 3 passengers have died. The ship with nearly 150 people still on board is expected to dock in Spain's Canary Islands in a few days, where the remaining passengers and crew will be evaluated. In the meantime, Marky, those still on board are being asked to social distance, sanitize their hands, and isolate in their rooms as much as possible.
I still can't imagine being on board this ship for any of this. So, Nick, what's all being done to ensure the virus doesn't spread off that ship to land into other communities now?
Yeah, Marky, they want to tamp down public fears, right? As we mentioned, several state health agencies are monitoring the situation here at home, but doctors say for the most part, people really don't have anything to worry about.
The only documented cases where it looked like there might be human-to-human spread were very close contacts, husband and wife, parent and child, people who lived in very close proximity to one another.
And on Tuesday, that sentiment was echoed in a statement by the CDC's acting director, who said, quote, "The risk to the American public is very low," adding that the virus is only spread by close contact with symptomatic carriers. Meanwhile, the ship's crew and passengers will be examined in Spain before being sent to their home countries. The 14 Spanish passengers on board will then quarantine in a military hospital in Madrid before being allowed to return to their communities. Other countries have said they will isolate or monitor passengers when they return home.
What the fuck do you mean that there is no cure for the hantavirus and it is only treatable? So there is no cure for the hantavirus? Doctors can only treat the symptoms?
I'm pretty sure they got a vaccination. Matter of fact, there's an MRA patent number for the vaccination. So I don't know. That's the cure according to them. You know, and the patent number is US-2025 127870A1. The inventor is, but let me see if I'm pronouncing the name right. Alexander Bukrev. Garcia, Blanco, Marino, Kuzmin Ivan, Acosta Ruben Soto. And this was invented in, oh my goodness, it's invented in Texas. The vaccine was made in, wait, hold on. We're going to go back to this. Wait till I show y'all this. Let's let her finish. Y'all, this is crazy.
There is a 40% death rate, and 1 in 3 people that catch the virus will die. There is no vaccine or anything. You don't catch this virus by just touching somebody contact to contact. You can stand right next to them and breathe it in, and you can catch it that way.
Rats and rodents didn't just start pooping and peeing on things yesterday.
Right.
Where in the fuck did this virus really come from? Rats and rodents. If rats and rodents were passing around the virus, why is New York still here? Literally, they have rats on the subway, all on the seats, all around the poles. Don't you think by now someone would have...
I mean, listen, New York rats are mad respectful. Why? Because they've been living amongst the people for decades now. New York rats, they be in their sewers, they be doing their thing. Listen, like, let's just keep it a buck. And I mean, I done seen huge New York rats, huge rats out there.
Contracted this and we would have been spreading this shit like no tomorrow. Like, come on, man. We gotta start using our cognitive thinking here. Rats and rodents are in all kinds of industry in this country. You know how many restaurants in the United States have rats and rodents? Do you know how many schools have rats and rodents? Do you know how many places, warehouses that have food that have rats and rodents? Where do you think that this shit really came from? Why is it that every time this man gets in the office, we have some sort of an outbreak? Some random ass virus that just pops up with no vaccine. That's
mad respectful rats, man. Them rats won't mess with your kids, nothing. Them rats, they used to people in New York, bro. Rats ain't just peeing and pooping on stuff in New York, man. They go into they got their own homes and headquarters, bro. Like, what are they talking about? All them damn rats, and now all of a sudden on a luxury cruise ship that went on a damn tour, a 12 country tour. It's like I'm laughing because when you think about how dumb this stuff be, like, who be scripting this? It's funny because you like, yo, who be sitting here really writing this? And like, yeah, this will work. It's going to happen on a cruise ship. It's going to happen on a cruise ship. It's going to go to Africa, Honduras. It's going to go all where the melanated people at. And then we're going to say a few people died, and now we can't even trace the rest of the people. And now we could just pinpoint where this virus comes, man. Yo, I don't know why respectful rats is so funny, though. But it's wild, man. It's like, what are they talking about, bro? This is crazy.
Killing people maliciously. Did you guys not remember the cruise ships that were sitting there during COVID? Come on, man. It's like
it's wild, man. It is wild. Hold on real quick.
I know they did not crash this motherfucking economy just to shut this bitch back down. I know you lied to me, Jesus. I know they finna try to shut this bitch down. If you don't know what's going on, I'm not talking about my hair. I'm talking about the hantavirus that is sitting off the fucking coast in a boat docked with multiple citizens on it from multiple different countries. And apparently they don't know how this shit got on the boat, and everybody on the boat is secluded to their room, and they're not letting the boat dock. The boat is stuck in the motherfucking water, bitch, because they don't want that shit to come on land, but they don't know if it's already on land. But let me just tell you what it is. This disease is primarily transmitted to humans through contact with infected rodent saliva, urine, or droppings. What makes it somewhat or the most dangerous is because it has a high mortality rate and causes rapid, severe lung failure and begins as a deceptive flu-like symptom that basically make early diagnosis difficult. 4 out of 10 cases end in death. All right. Basically, it causes severe fluid buildup in the lungs, leading to acute respiratory failure, which can progress quickly, and basically it also causes renal failure, which as a nursing student, I'm gonna tell you, those two combinations equal death anyway. Number one thing we learn about in nursing school that causes death is pulmonary congestion or pulmonary edema. Pulmonary edema means that you have fluid in your lungs and also the alveolar in your lungs, which is responsible for getting oxygen has to go to your tissues and it has to go to your blood. You're not getting that to your tissues and blood. On top of that, you couple that with renal failure, meaning you can't get off excess fluid buildup from pulmonary congestion. You're going to have a dry cough, possibly spitting up blood, meaning you're not going to be able to urinate. You're going to start retaining a lot of fluid and a lot of electrolytes that your body's supposed to be peeing off. Here, can you go into respiratory and metabolic acidosis? You can also go into alkalosis, which means your body's retaining acid and not letting off too much. You know, it's just a lot, which means that you're going to be dying quickly and very painfully. And this is being spread by rodent saliva, urine, and droppings. That means it travels quickly. That means they're about to lock it up. I'm just going to let you know.
And they might. We might have another shutdown. I wouldn't be surprised if they do. And they claim that this virus can spread from 14 feet away. Somebody can cough and these little rat pellets will fly 14 feet away from somebody's lungs and it can get the next person, according to what they're saying. And of course, you know, all of this stuff is planned in advance, man.
3 people who were aboard a cruise ship sailing the Atlantic Ocean have died of suspected infections of hantavirus. This is according to the World Health Organization. I know you've seen this story in the news, and it is a bit unusual, I must admit. By the way, hantavirus refers to a rare family of viruses carried by rodents. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. According to the New York Times, who's reporting on the World Health Organization, 1 case of the infection was confirmed in a lab. There are 5 additional suspected cases. Of the 6 people infected, 3 have died. 1 person was in intensive care in South Africa. Now, this is really something important to understand. We don't oftentimes associate hantavirus with cruise ships.
They're going to listen. It's going to pop up in somewhere Southside Georgia. They're going to try to make it like somewhere in Houston, Texas, where brothers and sisters is at, and then South Africa. Out of all places, this hantavirus is just hitting the most blackest areas. Crazy.
There are other viruses that we associate with cruise ships a lot more, norovirus, etc. Hantavirus is a group of viruses found around the world. They belong to a family called Hantaviridae. They're carried by certain species of rodents. So we're talking things like mice and rats. And the thing about it is that there are 2 main types of illness that hantavirus can cause. So like in the Americas, including the United States, it can cause something called hantavirus pulmonary syndrome. We sometimes call this HPS for short. This is when the virus primarily attacks the lungs. Now in Europe and in Asia, it can cause something called hemorrhagic fever with renal syndrome, which mainly affects like the kidneys. This is the thing. I mean, this virus kind of is no joke, though. It can be very, 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 very serious. It often needs to be caught early, and people need to be treated aggressively. We do not have a specific antiviral or vaccine to either treat or prevent this disease. The symptoms can...
I'm curious why people keep saying that, because I got information that's contrary. I'm going to share that with y'all. Let me play one more video from about this hantavirus.
Okay, so apparently 3 people have lost their lives, with at least 3 more people being sick aboard a cruise ship after there's been a suspected outbreak of the hantavirus while they are sailing in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean. Now, they're reporting that at least 3 people have lost their lives, and all 3 of them are passengers.
I am currently on board the MV Hondius, and what's happening right now is very real for all of us here. We're not just a story. We're not just headlines. We're people.
And they're not allowed to disembark. There's 149 other people on board. There are people who are sick, but they are anchored. The ship is stuck in Praia, which is...
That was a crisis actor, allegedly.
The capital of Cape Verde, and this is actually off the west coast of Africa. It's an island nation, but they're not allowed to leave. Now, when it comes to the hantavirus, craziest thing is this is typically transmitted through rodents, saliva, feces, urine, something of that sort.
Now, I want to share with you all something here, because I keep seeing people say there's no vaccine. Oh, there's a vaccine. Oh, there's definitely a vaccine. Of course, they got the vaccine ready. Hold on, let me make sure that one is it. Yeah, of course they got one ready. Y'all see this? I mean, just a little bit of research. I mean, there's one ready. And it looks like, let me see, and it was invented in the University of Texas. The date priority, it looks 2021-9/16. And man, we are looking at this. The web page summarizes information in PubChem. It has the number. Look, you can visit the site. I mean, they have it. Now, isn't it interesting that this hits Texas? This hits Texas. They're keeping an eye out on people in Texas, and they already got it. I'm just saying. Now, I'm gonna explain something to y'all. You know, we gotta move accordingly, because now respiratory issues are very much real. And like I was saying before, hold on, let me pull this up for y'all. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, go on HebrewCare.com when you get a chance and get you some of the stuff that's going to help your respiratory. If you're gonna get the stuff, get it from sources that have been proven. I use these products, and I think y'all should use them too, especially before shipping gets too crazy for you to even get this stuff. Rack up on this stuff. This is what's gonna help you. Before the World Health Organization start trying to clamp down on what we talking about, do what you got to do. And I believe there'll be a discount code for you all. So, I mean, if you act sooner, you act on that, you'll get your discount code. Now, we got to talk about Disney, man. This whole hantavirus thing, look, I'm gonna just say this. Everybody that's viewing this platform, y'all are ahead of the curve. Y'all way ahead of the curve. And they just added a discount code to the website. The discount code is New Breed Support. All right. The discount code is New Breed Support, and you will get discounted on your products from People Care. So just keep in mind that the respiratory system, building that immunity up, is important. All right. Now, I want to go here because while we've been looking at what's going on with this hantavirus, brothers and sisters, the PDF files, the weirdos and freaks just got arrested on a cruise ship. This is the cruise ship that nobody really been talking about. Peep this.
Cruisers, and it's update time with these three new major stories. From crew members being arrested, last-minute loyalty perks getting stripped, and we also have a wild on-board incident. And hey, after you watch, drop a ship emoji in the comments so we know you made it to the end. 23rd in San Diego are literally watching crew members get arrested midday. These are people who are serving breakfast. One guest even recognized their own head waiter, still in uniform, being escorted, restrained into an unmarked white van by US Customs and Border Protection. Now, there are no names, no charges as far as we know. Nothing has been confirmed. About 10 crew members are reportedly detained. By April the 20th.
All right, let's get the real news. I don't know. I thought this was a real news clip. I don't know what this dude is talking about, but I don't like how he's covering this story. This is some serious work right here. These people was arrested on this cruise, and there's very little coverage about it. That's what's so shocking about it. You don't really see much. You see people talking about it. I mean, it happened on a damn Disney cruise ship, y'all. But you don't see the news blowing this thing up. These people got arrested for heinous acts. Hold on, let me pull this up because that's crazy. You see a bunch of shorts on it, but no, man. I see a couple people, like a couple news sources covered it. They covering it for 30 seconds and all of that. Let me see.
A local woman.
Crazy how they try to sweep this wickedness under the rug, bro. It is so crazy. Hold on real quick. Wow.
A local woman had.
You know what's crazy about it? How the news purposely hides these big stories. I can read articles about this all day, but when you look up actual news sources, they only cover the story as developing. Nah, man, they got arrested for child porn, abductions, all kind of things. Hold on, let me see.
just gotten off a Disney cruise ship when she saw some of the ship's employees being detained by what looked like immigration agents.
So this happened nearly 2 weeks ago now at the B Street cruise terminal as the Disney Magic was docked downtown. Well, today that passenger joined migrant rights groups to demand transparency about what happened. And
You know, and all of the news is only saying that they got detained by ICE. I have to pull up an article. The news didn't follow up, y'all. I see a couple content creators that cover this. I've seen a couple content creators that covered this. The news didn't even follow up. They try to make it seem like some immigration stuff. No. These people was literally dealing with the jits, y'all. Disney. On a Disney cruise ship. Some wild stuff was going on a Disney cruise ship. With innocent underage children, bro. And the news is not even covering it. And 23 people was arrested. Yo, Babylon, I'm telling you, yo, this place is going to hell, bro. This place is going to hell, y'all. How the news not even going to follow up on the story? It's like, nope, we don't want to have that in the media. No, we need to know what's going on in Disney. I bet you Disney cut a check. Disney cut a check, y'all. We're going to have to follow a content creator who talked about it.
Next news.
No, nobody want to talk about that one. But that's what happened, y'all. I guess this is one of them stories that just got blacklisted. It got blacklisted. They don't want you to know why they got arrested. That's crazy, man. I'm gonna leave that one alone for now, but that's wild, y'all. Yeah. And we wonder why America in the state is in. We wonder why Babylon falling the way it is. I tell you, that's the one story that they should really be blowing up. Crazy work right there. But, you know, at the end of the day, look, I'm going to tell y'all. When they released those files and we found out what these people was doing, these damn half-breed, reptilian, demonic beings, when we found out what they were doing and Americans just kind of let that skate, man, these people they've been escalating everything over and I mean, just with ease now. Tahan, thank you for the support. Yep, Tahan said it. That's what I was thinking. He said Disney probably paid a ton of money to suppress it. They have reach like that. Not to mention they own ABC, etc. Right. That's a good point. They do own ABC. Yeah, they reach went too strong, man. Like that story went like that. That should be all over the front page for weeks, months. For a story like that to get swept under the rug like that, it shows you the power that Disney got. It just shows you, man. These billionaires, they're getting away with any and everything, man. Protect your children. And you know Disney getting that money. I was watching one video. A guy took his kids, his family to Disneyland and spent one day in Disneyland was like $2,000 easy. That's how expensive it was. Just one outing was almost $2,000. He followed the whole day showing how much it costs just for kids just to do basic stuff. That's crazy. So you know they got the money. Yeah, they want people to keep going to Disneyland. I'm gonna tell you, Disneyland is a weird place. I can't say too much, but let's just say that it really do get mystical out there in Disneyland. What better place do certain people go to get what they looking for? If y'all catching my drift. Some of these PDs, Disneyland is like they like kids in a damn candy store. No pun intended. But that's the place where a lot of that stuff be happening. Crazy out here. Somebody said people actually get kidnapped. That's what I'm trying to say, man. There's a lot going on out here, man. Yep, $2,000 on one family outing in Disneyland. Somebody said ABC just launched a huge lawsuit against Trump. I haven't heard about that. Yeah, it's all kind of craziness that goes on. But you know, the Bible tells us clear as day that judgment is coming to this place. The wicked going to have to deal with the Most High's wrath. And I ain't just saying that. When Christ return, man, it's going to be storms. It's going to be, listen, it's going to be a great shaking. But y'all know, it's always an honor and a blessing building with y'all, man. I got more material coming. Y'all got to support the work. Y'all got to support the work. When I'm going live, giving y'all this information, putting my platform on the line and just keep you enlightened. You know, you got to make sure when y'all show up, just show some support. You know, if you're not liking the video, donate via Cash App, New Breed Global Truth. You know, support my merch on my website. You know, newbreedglobaltruth.com has some fly t-shirts, fly clothes. We got all kind of products over there. Support this stuff. You know, this is what keeps the work going. This is what keeps the motion going on the platform when y'all actually show up and y'all support. And you know, I got some great things in the works. Like I told y'all, I'm working on an album right now. I'm only a few songs in. And so far, man, I'm gonna just tell y'all the music that I'm doing behind the scenes, it takes a lot of work. And if I'm gonna be releasing that music on a smaller platform, then y'all got to show me y'all could support on a larger platform. You know what I'm saying? Because who knows? Maybe I even release the full album over here. Because it's gonna be my album. It's gonna be all good. But y'all got to show that support because it's a lot of hard work. And you know, I do appreciate y'all showing up. A lot of y'all be making these late night streams, and I'm appreciative of that. But you know, it's going to take more so we can get this channel popping. Y'all got to understand, and I'm not going to be too long-winded about this, but in order for the truth to really take legs, we are a team. Y'all gotta understand, this is Team New Breed. When you over here supporting this stuff and you getting the education, the edification, the knowledge, the insight, listen, we gotta all represent because it's bigger than me. This is about us. This is about truth being accepted, truth music being pushed. This is about, you know, not truth being accepted because it won't be accepted by everybody, but we got to kick the doors down. If y'all sharing all these videos, if y'all liking the videos, if y'all supporting the work, we can make this thing pop. If y'all do some reaction videos, somebody may be watching and inspired by the material, do some reactions to some of the things I'm talking about. Some of y'all out there know how to clip videos and all of that. If you're an editor and you like to clip my videos and find certain talking points and then do shorts and stuff, do that. That helps the work too. Send those things to me. Post them on your social media. Post them on Instagram, TikTok. You know what I'm saying? Get the word out there. Get the message out there. And this thing can really take off. You know, somebody says, always give from your heart, no fees. Absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, it's always an honor and a blessing with you, building with y'all. Of course, I got more material coming. I want to thank everybody who knows I'll probably be up working on some music tonight, you know, getting some writing done. And we'll see where it goes. But one love to y'all. Y'all be blessed out there. With that being said, shalom.